So please excuse the mess. This is my work area. I'm currently putting together a small form factor build for a friend. I wanted to make this video today to point out a hack I came up with for the Flex ATX power supplies. Right here I have a 600 watt Silverstone Flex ATX power supply. I have done the popular Nactua fan swap. I like this style of Flex ATX power supplies because you're able to use the 20 mm thick Nactua fan as opposed to FSP or other brands that you only have enough clearance for the 10 mm thick Nactua fan. So that's why I choose this one. It's a little bit of a premium, again, higher quality product, but it also comes at a premium. With that being said, a lot of people that do this swap plug the Nactua fan directly into the power supply header. There's a 2-pin header inside of the Flex ATX power supply that controls the fan. I've circumvented that, and I want to tell you why right now. So I plug my Nactua fan straight into the motherboard, which a lot of people say don't because the fan curve, blah, 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 blah. So what I have done to circumvent that is actually add a thermal probe to the thermal header on my motherboard, and I place the thermal probe inside of the Flex ATX power supply. So this allows me to control the fan curve through the motherboard on that thermal probe inside the PSU. And now from all the research I've done, Flex ATX power supplies run comfortably at 0 to 40 C. So what I do is I come here, and as you can see, the fan right here, temp, it's right now at a nice chilly 38, so it's within its spec. It's got up to 43. So on this fan curve that I made for this, at 45 C the fan goes up to 50%. At 50 C the fan goes up to 100%. And at 40 C and below, I keep the fan about 25-30%. I've kind of played around with those numbers, and I really challenge you to play around with those numbers as well if you do decide to do this approach for the Nactua fan swap on a Flex power supply. Again, this is the only way I've been able to successfully make a satisfactory fan curve and feel comfortable enough to leave the fan in there. Because again, a lot of people say when you do this swap, the Nactua fan swap, that it's not adequate as the fan curve for the power supply was set to a different fan that has a different CFM and yada yada yada, bloody bloody bloody, technical spec. So with this thermal probe, you're allowed more fine tuning, more control of the temperature inside of the power supply, and you can get a much more pleasant user experience with the significantly quieter Nactua fan. So if you do decide to do this swap, I would highly recommend that you add the external thermal probe so that you can fine tune your fan curve.